Albania, in some ways, still the same in all the good ways. In other ways, it's changing. It's changing quite fast. Welcome to Albania. I have to tell you, this is one of the countries that surprised me in my travels the most. Over the next couple of days, I want to take you along through the capital city of Tirana, to the coast, little coastal towns, and historical places that you might find nowhere else. Welcome to Albania. Shqiperia, the local way to say Albania, guys. We just landed in the Tirana airport. I have to tell you, this is not the first visit. During the times when all borders have been closed, where people have been locked up in their homes, I've been wandering around this mountainous land, and I have to tell you, it's quite a sweet feeling to be back. So today I want to take you along. A little bit of a first impression of Tirana, the capital city. Just literally hopped out of the airplane, got a nice coffee at the coffee chain that only exists in this country. There's a lot of things that makes this place very special. So for me, I've spent kind of like, I think 3 or 4 months in total on 2 visits in 2020 and 2021. The country at that time has been pretty empty. There was a lot of constructions in the capital happening. And just coming out of the airport, I'm already seeing things are a bit different. So today I want to take you along on a bit of a first impression of how the country is right now, on whether or not I feel like it's worth visiting and for who. I feel like in some ways it's one of the most underrated countries, but at the same time there is reasons I think why some people choose maybe not to come, but we're gonna discover all of that today, guys. Very easy. We're in the airport, we're gonna hop on a car, go to our hotel, and I think it's gonna be around the week, maybe. We'll see. There's no flights going out yet, depending how much I'm gonna like it this time around. And let's say it like that, the mountains in this country are crazy. The beaches are extremely underrated, and I feel like generally it's one of the last few hidden gems that have a truly authentic experience. Yeah, Albania is moving forward. So rolling out, I thought Albania is probably one of the best countries for a road trip. Winding roads, guys. I have already the experience from last time. We had a Jeep Wrangler. It was so much fun. And this time I thought definitely also a 4x4, and last time already with the guys from AutoUnion. That's why I rented the car. Overall, again, everything is a bit more affordable in Albania. So I think there's like 2 options of what we can have right now. Let's hop into the AutoUnion shop and yeah, hopefully drive out there. Let's go. I think it's that big black boy over there. Weather much better. So basically, let's say it like that. I think in terms of car choice, AutoUnion is one of the biggest. I've checked on their page. They have like simpler cars, which are also like fairly affordable, but then also 4x4 for Albania, I would say is perfect. The Jeep last time has been a dream, but it's also nice to have a little bit something different. I think it's time to go. Last time you were here, drove like freaking buses. Okay, that ends. Not bad. Got some juice. Made it out to the Skanderbeg Square. As you see, basically we're in the middle of a huge square, just kind of like a walking platform. And let me say like that, a couple impressions of Tirana being back. Last time I was here, first of all, there's some nice music in the background. I hope they're not as good, so it's going to be copyrighted, but basically Balkan vibes. So good to be back. But also, last time I remember there was a good amount of constructions, and I thought like, hey, maybe there's going to be something new. And I have to tell you, the city skyline changed like crazy. This is a completely new building. I think, what is it, intercontinental. Like, pretty cool architecture overall. Really, let's say, in a way, kind of like circled architecture. But the thing, just to talk a little bit to you about Albania, if you have never heard about it, if you're just watching my channel, The country is very special because of the fact that it was pretty much one of the last few nations within the, let's say, area of this part of the world, kind of like Europe, Balkans, to still be a communist regime. So for a very long time, the country has been really closed off, very little communication with the outside world. I think under the, let's say, the leader, the dictator back then, Enver Hoxha. And this is what really, let's say, maintained a certain very, very unique energy of the city. How you doing?
Yeah, just finished.
Yeah? Well, we're in the middle of it. How are you?
Take your Instagram.
Huh? Yeah. Sorry?
I want to take your Instagram.
Oh.
Bye.
Bye-bye. So I guess we're one with the people. We're one with the people. Just had a nice conversation. At first I thought she's a tourist, but actually she is Albanian. So let's say it like that. The country is super interesting because of a certain authenticity that it maintains, especially if you go out to the country. It's kind of like time traveling. But impressions of being back in Tirana. As I said, I saw a lot of constructions last time and I was curious, how is it going to be? How fast is the development going to be? First of all, some of the big ones they have absolutely finished. They start off new ones, and like this actually looks really, really cool and futuristic. And I know some people, you know, sometimes they say like, oh, why, you know, like the cityscape kind of changes. But for me personally, I think it's really interesting to see, let's say, up and coming nations and economies developing, having like really, let's say, also especially it's not just big boulders of buildings, it's really creative stuff. So personally, big fan of like both old as well as futuristic architecture. And so in terms of that, it's kind of like cool to be back. On the other hand, I feel like Albania in general, in terms of the value, what you can get here, like be it going out, eating out, hotels, is really, really good. Albania in some ways still the same in all the good ways, in other ways it's changing. It's changing quite fast. Rolling into Albania, let's say it like that, guys. We're on the roof right now of the hotel, and speaking of the fact, we're here with the carry-ons from Level 8. So if you've been watching the channel, you probably have heard about them before. My go-to luggage for over a year now. First of all, the aluminium carry-on, absolutely the most elegant piece that I've ever had, but also the quality of it. It's super sturdy, you can pretty much sit on it, roll on it. But also there are other cases like the Level 8 Pro carry-on has a laptop sleeve, so I've been also traveling a lot with that, as you see currently on the road with both. Also, obviously, if you need a checked luggage, they have like the Voyager design. I think it looks really cool with the white handles.
So next to these suitcases looking absolutely slick, I have to tell you, they're offering lifetime limited warranty. So if something happens, you can reach out to them. Their customer service is available at all times. And as of right now, for a limited time only, for Black Friday, they're offering the biggest discount that they are doing. With the code BF20, you can get 20% off many of their iconic different pieces. I will leave the link down below together with the code. Just check out the website.
In Tirana, quite something. Let's roll.
Very, very, very nice.
You alright? Guys, we have arrived. I wanted to make it special this time around. Found this place by the lake, but this is quite something. So first of all, the cars are super fancy. Check this one out. That is what I call a proper size Jeep. So let's check in. Let's see where we're staying. A Radisson Collection, like a nice building by the lake, and busy. If you are staying, yeah. Guys, I'm blown away. Like, it looked nice online, but like Albania for you, you know? Like, gym. I'm a simple man. Alrighty, so let's see. 508. I'm really excited right now. Let's see what Tirana has to offer here. Coming in. Super cozy. Super boutique. Wow. Oh, there's a balcony. There's two balconies. Wow. Oh my God. Guys, so we're overlooking the huge greenery park, the lake, and I'm seeing the city center back there. So what can I say? What a way to start the Albania trip. So let's say it like that. The nice thing is we're not too far off from the city. I think to the central park you could walk, maybe to the famous area of Blloku. So spooking a little bit over the rooftops of Tirana. Wow. So they have some type of lounge bar here. I think it's opening a bit later. But this view... Ooh, this is the thing I really loved about Albania the first time I was here. I'm almost like double time rapping right now. Is the fact that it's completely surrounded by mountains. So we're standing here, we're seeing these huge mountains, the city is in the middle of it. Yeah, really makes it special. So super nice rooftop bar. Let's check out the lounge a little bit. Might be back later. So also pretty close to the city center, there's this really interesting market. So on the one side, it's kind of like traditional, old school. They're having just like meat, fruits, but at the same time, they kind of like did a nice roofing, little glass building, overall nice areas, cafes all around, and really also pretty, I wouldn't say, I mean, in some ways definitely fancy, but even more so kind of like places with a lot of character, a lot of different concepts people are coming up with. And yeah, also obviously a lot of Albanian pride we're looking at here. So as I mentioned before, this was one of the last communist regimes in the whole area. And the really interesting thing is that throughout the whole country, there are these bunkers, also in Tirana. So here, they made kind of a museum out of it and the vibe. Quite an interesting concept to tell the story. We walked into the Blloku neighborhood, and you see this place, it's kind of like an interesting story behind it. So first of all, if you walk through more regular Tirana, you might see streets, you know, like, you know, let's say the road are like a little bit messed up, like it looks very local, let's say like that. This area, in some parts, it looks kind of like old fancy in a way. So basically, during the communist era, this was a closed off district. You were not allowed to go in, just like as like a regular citizen, only if you're like connected to the party or some VIP. And in terms of that, you also still see like a lot of boutiques, a lot of coffees. Obviously, like this is like a long time ago. Now everything is open, but the whole area is kind of like a little bit more, let's say, upscale in an old school way though. So markets everywhere, on every corner. Just like nice, get some drinks, some snacks. Oh, I remember these like peanut, what is it, corn snacks. This. Okay guys, in the evening right now, so on the roof of the Radisson right now. The view in the evening, wow, I have to tell you, this is really the reason why I fell in love with Albania in the first place. So, getting a bit hungry as well, so let's see what they have downstairs. Good, yeah.
You want to try it both?
We'll try both? Okay.
Yeah, it's dry wine.
Right.
Yeah.
Good luck editing this. Good morning guys, what a morning by the lake, having breakfast here. I have to tell you, morning vibe here, absolutely beautiful. You see first of all this little lake by the hotel, then you see the nature park pretty much from the window, and yeah, breakfast. Nice Albanian breakfast, got a good bunch of fruits like vegetables, eggs, and just sitting out here. The vibe is proper. So people also, a lot of people are just coming to the cafe, so the cafe is next door almost all the time, reasonably full. So I think this is really one of the hotspots, slightly outside of the main city center. So peaceful. So yeah, gonna have some breakfast, and I thought the pool is already closed this time of the year, but there's some amigos. They're opening the season once again, so gonna have to check that out as well. Guys, seriously, Tirana, what a first impression. Hope you enjoyed today's little video. So for me it was just to do a stop, do a little bit, see a little bit of how the city maybe has changed. I'm very happy to say that one thing I was a bit afraid of is that I was here during COVID. It was kind of like my safe haven, freedom spot. Seriously, I enjoyed it so much, and I was afraid that it's now gonna be kind of like maybe very touristy, because I didn't really know how the tourism is. And I have to tell you, in Tirana, it just was so real. It's not about like, let's say, having tourism in a place. I wish Albania's tourism is going to get even bigger and bigger, and this is actually really here. I think in the other cities by the beaches definitely, but I think Tirana is really so authentic. A lot of new buildings, a lot of development. One of the buildings that is still under construction, I thought they're going to have some like type of infinity pool, and you know, especially on Instagram I kind of like really focus on hotels, and in terms of that, definitely excited to maybe come back, check that out. And yeah, I think for many people it's a country that is under the radar. Everybody wants to visit Spain, everybody wants to visit Italy, and Albania, many people, let's say, I think really underestimate it. On the one side how beautiful it is, on the other side just the experience, especially driving with a car through like little side alleys. You see the markets, you see real organic like stuff, you know, just basically from the backyard, you know, some grandma selling it on the street. And this is really how I like to live my life. On the one side, like go to big cities, to modern like let's say very established places, but even more so go to places that still have a certain, let's say, maintenance of their own character, their own culture, without, let's say, overrun of tourism, without like, let's say, just like every single mall and coffee shops just feels absolutely the same. Albania really is unique in that way, and that very much stayed like that. And also the mountains, absolutely love it. And Tirana, from what I remember, I love the mountains, but I remember that going outside is even better, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing right now, hopping into the car. Like, I'm so happy that we got the car. If you're coming to Albania, check out AutoUnion. The hotel here, obviously absolute charm. Actually, like last minute I decided to stay here, and yeah, it's even better than I expected. Truly probably one of the best hotels in Tirana. Slightly outside, nice and calm, very different vibe. And if you are new here by any chance, well, here on the channel I document my life around the idea of building a life of freedom around the world. That's what Got a World to See stands for. It's pretty much for, at this point, 6 years I've been traveling on the road, documenting my life here on the Got a World to See channel. And I feel like, let's say it like that, I think every country has its pros and cons, and some countries just offer so much more, be it more experience, more, let's say, certain new cultural impressions, but even more so living a better life individually for yourself, the value that you can get here. Like literally, this place is obviously, as you can imagine, a bit more pricey, but even here the restaurant is priced kind of like any random restaurant in Europe. If you go into the city, you can have amazing meals for pretty much half, if not even less, of the money anywhere else in Europe, without it being overrun, without, let's say, the whole like kind of like tourism sector kind of like often taking advantage of people. And this is why I love to go to countries that are a little bit under the radar. And I know that with this video, maybe a little bit, let's say like that, come check it out, recommend it to your best friends if you like it. And again, it's a little bit raw and rough around the edges. This is what I personally like. A little bit more adventure factor. So going right now to the beaches, to the mountains. There's going to be at least 1 or 2 more videos. Make sure to keep your eyes open for them. If you want to see where I am right now, see a little bit behind the scenes, you can also join me on Instagram. There pretty much I'm up to date. Here on YouTube usually the videos come like a month or 2 later. But yeah, I just got out of the gym, a little bit over caffeinated, but you feel the excitement. Albania, very happy to say that it has changed a little bit, but even in all the good ways. It's developing, it's growing, while still everything that I liked last time is here, maybe even a bit more. So with that, you too, Got a World to See.